Welcome to San Jose, where Jarome Iginla and the Colorado Avalanche are battling for their playoff lives, just like tonight's opponent, Brent Burns and the San Jose Sharks. Welcome live to SAP Center in downtown San Jose, the capital of Silicon Valley, for this all-Western Conference matchup tonight between the Colorado Avalanche and the San Jose Sharks. Hi, everybody. Randy Hahn, and we welcome you here on this second game of our doubleheader tonight. Both these teams are still in the playoff picture, but they are running out of postseason oxygen. Time is short. The Sharks 7 points out of a playoff spot behind the wild card team Winnipeg. Colorado 8 back. Both have a half dozen games to go. Jamie Baker inside the glass here, and Jamie, while Colorado may or may not make the playoffs this year, they have one of the hottest scorers in hockey right now in Ryan O'Reilly.
Oh boy, the 24-year-old has been on fire for the Avalanche. The NHL's third star of the week last week, ending March 29th. He's carried it over, points in 8 straight games. You know, he's got the speed, he's got size. He's about 6 foot 210. Great passer, vision. Earlier this year, he talked about not having the confidence that he wanted. He didn't want the puck all the time. He has it now. He wants to be a catalyst for this team. He wants to be a leader. He wants the puck on his stick. He wants to be on the ice in pressure situations. And boy, has he delivered lately.
For the Sharks last year, Joe Pavelski led them in goals and in points overall, and he's leading in both those categories again this year, Jamie.
He's all about, you talk about what epitomizes a professional on and off the ice. That's Joe Pavelski. He's not the biggest, he's not the fastest. It's hockey sense, it's grit, it's going to the dirty areas, it's hand-eye coordination, it's playing with your head up, it's taking hits to make plays. That's Joe Pavelski. Every shift, every game.
We are down to the final 10 days of the regular season for both these hockey teams. They are both desperate for a breath of postseason life. The Avalanche and the Sharks coming up live with the opening face-off next. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the National Hockey League, and by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Time for tonight's Honda starting goalies. Reto Berra gets the call for the Colorado Avalanche. This will only be his third ever appearance against San Jose, a record of 0-1-1. And Alex Stalock, the backup, starts for a third straight game for San Jose. Stalock, 4 goals against in his last 3 starts. We are just about set to go here in Silicon Valley. The Avalanche and the San Jose Sharks back next with the face-off. Welcome back to SAP Center in San Jose. Patrick Roy took the Colorado Avalanche to the Central Division title last year, and it earned him the Jack Adams Award as Coach of the Year. Todd McClellan has never missed the playoffs in his professional coaching career, including all 6 prior seasons behind the bench of the San Jose Sharks. But it's on the line for both coaches and both hockey teams here tonight as the Sharks start the night 7 points out of a playoff spot with 6 to play, and the Avalanche 8 points out with the same number of games remaining down the final 10 days of the regular season. We're set to drop the puck at center ice. Paul Dvorsky and Brad Watson, a veteran refereeing crew, along with Jay Shares and Mark Wheeler on the lines. And the second and final meeting this year between the Sharks and Avalanche underway, with Colorado beginning a 3-game California road trip. Sharks, Tomas Hertl with a shot and Reto Berra with an early save. And then Justin Braun for the Sharks. He'll get one to the goal. And right off the hop, San Jose with 2 scoring chances.
Well, there's always a concern after that first home game after a long road trip, how your team responds. San Jose here early. You can see a nice little lane opening up from behind the net. Hertl comes out, tries to go far side top corner. and a good initial save early in the game for Red O'Bara.
San Jose coming off a 2-week, 7-game road trip. All but one of those games was played against Eastern Conference teams. San Jose went 3-1-1. They needed a better trip than that to legitimately give themselves a good chance to get into the postseason without a lot of help. Now with 6 games to go, both these teams almost need to win out and get help. Carlson for San Jose, knocked down in the neutral zone, and it's cleared back. Red O'Bara there handing it off for Nate Gennon on the Colorado defense. The Avalanche will play the Sharks here tonight and then go on to face the 2 Southern California teams, the Kings and the Ducks. In fact, when you look at what's left for both these teams, Colorado has a much more difficult go of it down the stretch. All but one of the teams they play in their remaining 5 after tonight are already in the playoffs, and the other, LA, is just on the brink. And San Jose, on the other hand, does have a game against the Kings, their final game of the year, but all the rest are against non-playoff teams. Up to the net, Vera a stick save, and now San Jose's third line on the ice, Chris Tierney, number 50, with Tommy Wingels in the corner. It comes to this side for Colorado, and played up the boards by Marc-Andre Clich, but he can't get it out. Now a battle behind the net, and it's picked up by the rookie Tierney for San Jose. A tight turn on the boards, can't shake off Clich, hands it off to Matt Nieto, who fumbles the pass. Now Clich walking it out from behind his goal, and Colorado will get it clear as it's dumped down the ice by Dennis Everberg. Matt Irwin on the Sharks blue line. His name came up a lot around trade deadline time. Ever since then, of course, he wasn't dealt. He's played some of his best hockey as a San Jose Shark. Now Jordan Caron, who did come over from Boston to Colorado at the deadline, at center ice, and it's fired in and around behind the San Jose net. Ben Smith, another trade deadline addition by the Sharks from Chicago. Out on the ice is Brendan Dillon, who joined San Jose partway through this year from Dallas, sends it into Avalanche territory. Dillon one-hands it over to Logan Couture. Couture now on 25 goals. Centering pass, looking for Patrick Marleau. Good stick from Alex Tanguay. And now Marleau able to catch it again, and out of the corner he plays it up toward the point. Intercepted by Gabriel Landeskog. He'll get it up ice for Tanguay, who's having a strong season offensively with 52 points. Alex Tanguay, the veteran, 4th in scoring for this Avalanche team.
Well, there's been no question the Avs are getting some great contributions from their veterans. Tanguay and Jerome McGinley have been pleasant surprises from a production standpoint this season.
Here's Tanguay to Ryan O'Reilly, and his shot caught with the glove hand of Alex Stalock.
Well, we talk about the 2 teams Randy's already mentioned. Both teams believe they probably have to win out. The irony of this is these 2 teams last year at this time, the Avs had 112 points. They were 2nd in the West, 3rd in the NHL. The Sharks were 1 point behind them, tied for 3rd in the West, tied for 4th in the NHL, and now both playing for their playoff lives.
Joe Thornton, again, right near the top, if he isn't always right at the top for San Jose in scoring. Thornton with a 62-point season, and he's 5 off the team scoring lead held by Pavelski.
He centers the top line with Joe Pavelski and Melker Karlsson, who's had a breakout year from a rookie standpoint. 13 goals for the rookie from Sweden.
Thornton's been in the playoffs ever since he came to San Jose in the trade from Boston back in 2005. In fact, you have to go back to the 2000-2001 season, the last time Joe Thornton wasn't in the Stanley Cup playoffs, when the Bruins missed that year, and he's been in the dance ever since. But it's a big question mark for the Sharks now, down here by as many points as they are, and the number of games remaining dwindling.
You know, for the entire organization, not just Joe Thornton. 2nd longest playoff run in the NHL, 10 years behind the Red Wings of 23, and 3rd in pro sports. San Antonio Spurs with 17 consecutive years in the NBA playoffs.
Avalanche coming up through center ice. Matt Duchene gains the zone. As John Mitchell with him on the wing, feeds the front of the net where Jerome McGinley can't find that puck. Iginla leading the Avalanche in team scoring with 55 points, including 26 goals. And what a great year it's been for Jarome Iginla, one of the elder statesmen, not just on the Colorado roster, but in the NHL. Zach Redmond. And that comes all the way back to Jan Hejda for Colorado. Wingles in on the forecheck. Tierney tries to move around Redmond. Now plays it to the point. Taylor Fedun in only his second game in the NHL for the Sharks. Up from Worcester in the American League. And Fedun pressed into service on the weekend when the Sharks lost Marc-Edouard Vlasic to an injury. In fact, Fedun played his first game as a Shark on Sunday after playing in American League games for Worcester on Friday and Saturday. So he had the rare triple header, 3 games in 3 nights.
When you're working on 3 and 3, he even talked about it. The importance of adrenaline, how that basically helped him in that situation. Carried him through.
Hejda ahead for Freddie Hamilton. And now Dillon takes it, tries to feed Big John Scott for San Jose. That'll get back to Tyson Barrie for Colorado. Here's Barrie, leading point getter on Colorado's blue line. And the hard slap shot from Caron over the glove of Stalock as Scott slips it out of the zone. Gennin sending it back the other way. Avalanche re-attack. It's Caron again, slowed down by Braun for San Jose. Then Hamilton rips a shot that's caught by Stalock for a face-off. Watch the NHL on NBC Live on your laptop, tablet, or smartphone with NBC Sports Live Extra. Download the app or go to NBC Sports/Live Extra and watch the biggest events anywhere, anytime.
One of the things the Sharks will have to keep an eye on is Tyson Barrie. He just picked up the puck in his own end, made one pass in the neutral zone, and he joined the rush, led the rush without the puck. Went right to the front of the Sharks net. Creates a little bit of a chaos from a back checking, so Sharks will need to have good communication on the back check, especially when somebody like Tyson Barrie's joining the rush.
And Barrie had a 38-point season last year on Colorado's blue line. He's come back even stronger this year. 49 points now, leading the Colorado defensive corps on offense.
Trying to join just 3 others with 50 points in a season for a defenseman. Sandis Ojolas did it 4 times, Rob Blake twice, and the great Ray Bourque.
No score here in the first period. We're live at SAP Center in San Jose. The first home game for the Sharks in a long, long time. In fact, they haven't played here since March 14th. Big slap shot from Landeskog. Now Tanguay trying to bank it in. From the point, it's Barrie, and that's saved by Stalock. The rebound feeds the San Jose rush. Hertl has to draw back to pull that puck toward him. And that allowed Colorado to get it back.
After that huge rebound from Stalock, it could have been a 2-on-1 opportunity for Marleau and Hertl, but they were right at the end of their shift.
Fedun, and now caught by Pavelski, who turns and fires, and Bear is there with the glove save. No score, Sharks and Avalanche. 37-year-old Jarome Iginla having a terrific season for the Colorado Avalanche. Their general manager, Joe Sakic, bringing Iginla to the Avs for, of course, the leadership that he can instill in this roster that's very young. But, boy, has he ever gotten production out of Iginla, too.
Took him a little while to adjust playing here with the Avalanche, but boy, after the first 3 weeks or month or so, he's just settled right in, tied for the team lead in points, just 4 goals shy of 30. If he hits 30 this year, it'll be the 13th time in his career.
You look at the youth and the key pieces for this Avalanche lineup. Tyson Barrie, whom we discussed, Matt Duchene, Nathan McKinnon, who's out injured, Ryan O'Reilly, Gabriel Landeskog. You can just imagine the fingerprints that Jarome Iginla's presence will leave on their careers going forward.
How to train on and off the ice, daily practice habits, details to the game.
And we've got a penalty coming up here. It's going to be to Matt Duchene for tripping up Taylor Fedun. And San Jose will get a look here on the power play in the first period.
And Duchene doesn't like the call. As we listen to the ref.
2 for Tripp.
There it is, 2 for Tripp. And we're going to see, there just kind of gets the bottom of Fedun's skate.
So, whether Duchesne likes the call or not, he's going to sit for 2 and think about it.
If I was Duchesne, I don't know if I'd like that call early in the game either.
I'm not sure I would either.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that's going to be the standard tonight. San Jose on the power play, and here's Burns. And the shot tipped to Berra, who stops it, but it's kept in. Thornton leading the power play to Pavelski, and he went backdoor for Burns, but he was too deep toward the net. And now Clich drives it to the San Jose net, where it goes out of play.
Well, a couple of good looks early from the Sharks. And we're going to keep an eye on Brent Burns. He's going to get the puck, and then he's going to attack right away. Puck comes back to Burns, and he's looking for that redirect. He slides to his left, and it was Pavelski trying to redirect. Reto Berra takes the bottom part of the net away. Good face-off win, and attacking the net quickly, not allowing the penalty killers to get set up in the defensive zone.
Burns has a good chunk of his points on the power play this year, 23 of them, in fact. Pavelski leads all San Jose players with 30 power play points, and he's second in the NHL with 19 power play goals, behind only Alexander Ovechkin. The Sharks try to get their power play established. This is their second unit. And O'Reilly will clear it for the Avs off the boards. It hit Fadoon. He was unable to hold it in as it slapped back down. And now Todd McClellan, after that shift by the second power play unit, gets his top guns back on. Pavelski now with Thornton and Marleau up top. The drop for Couture, who's a fourth forward who plays back on the blue line with Burns on the power play. This one high up in the air, almost hit the clock. Now Thornton on the re-entry. A pass across for Marleau. Led him just a little too far. Couture wrapped up in the corner by the former Shark, Brad Stewart. Couture leads for Thornton. He'll wheel it to Marleau. To the front, Pavelski the tip. Didn't get to the net. And Mitchell will scoop it clear past Burns. And now Everberg for Colorado, trying to work his way past the forward Marleau. And Marleau did a decent job there.
I'd say a very commendable job playing defense.
Burns turns the corner on Barry, but Berra hooks it away. And that'll be it for the power play for San Jose as they generate one shot on goal, still scoreless.
That's a lot of mass moving quickly. Brent Burns, when he gets the wheels going, and it's very tough to defend. It's one of the things the Avs want to try and do, slow him down in the neutral zone before he enters the offensive zone and tries that wide drive.
Both these teams coming off losses. San Jose finished up that 7-game roadie in Pittsburgh with a shootout loss Sunday, but they got a point. The Avalanche can't say the same. They fell to Edmonton 4-1 on Monday, their second loss to the Oilers in the past couple of weeks. They snapped their 3-game winning streak. Dillon for San Jose up to the Sharks blue line. Melker Karlsson hands it right back to Ryan O'Reilly. Now it's poked ahead, and it's Tanguay. He'll drop it for Gabriel Landeskog. The Avs captain shoots it off a deflection wide behind the net. Now Tanguay, or make it O'Reilly, battling Karlsson. And Ben Smith for the Sharks takes it off the boards and slides it back down. Under 9.5 left here in the first period. The team's even on the shot counter at 5 each. Tommy Wingels, 15 goals for Wingels this year, where he's had some injury time off. Providing the Sharks with some depth scoring, but depth scoring continues to be a problem for San Jose beyond the top guns of Pavelski, Thornton, and Burns and Couture, especially with Marleau having an off year, only 15 goals, and he's been good for 30 for most of the past 10 years per season.
Been playing a little better from an offensive standpoint the last 4 or 5 games, contributing a little bit more. But he's been snake-bitten this year, lost his confidence for a while, and trying to finish strong.
Couldn't get through the middle there, Marleau, as Duchesne comes back the other way for Colorado. Drop pass to Mitchell. Can't pull a trigger. Now it's shot to the net by Nick Holden. Blocked and cleared all the way back down. And Berra will handle it there and give it off to Brad Stewart. Tomas Hertl for San Jose to Marleau. And the shot blocked by Holden. Duchesne weaves his way up ice, gets it to Iginla. Jerome Iginla back in front, wanted John Mitchell, it wouldn't go. Thornton counterattacks with Carlson and Pavelski on the wing, but that pass to his backhand, tough to handle. Now Fedun, and that's blocked, and Iginla will just dump it to center ice. Pavelski nowhere to go, but now Barry doesn't clear. Now Pavelski's got somewhere to go, but his shot is blocked by Hayda. Joe Pavelski checked hard by Jan Hayda, and down goes Pavelski. Puck stays in, Braun shot, and a nice glove save by Reto Berra. Back in San Jose in a moment.
Coach, you never know what to expect, especially that first game back after a long road trip. How do you like how the players have started so far tonight?
Well, I think we've got some flow and rhythm, which is a good thing for our team. Power play looked a little bit rusty, but for the most part, I think we're showed up and we're playing.
All right. How about in the neutral zone from a turnover standpoint?
Well, we just gave one or two up here. They stacked the lineup well, and I think we're skating well enough. If we get some pucks in behind them, we should be able to go get it.
All right. Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
McClellan's team has been quite frankly beset by inconsistency for much of the year. San Jose hasn't won more than 2 games in a row since January 31st, and then they went through the month of February losing every home game. It was their worst month of the year, and it really hurt their playoff chances to where now they're desperate. Landeskog up top for Colorado. Patrick Roy singing the praises of his young captain earlier today. Loving the way Landeskog has responded down the stretch here, where the Avs have picked up points in 9 of their last 13 games and won 8 of those outright and put themselves back into the conversation. And Landeskog has had a big hand in that, and Patrick Roy went to great lengths to point that out today.
He's pretty much doubled his points per game from the All-Star game to this point compared to the stats earlier, pre-All-Star game.
The Avs really got themselves into a hole early. They won only 4 games in regulation through their first 17, so that's basically almost the first 2 months of the season. And when you have only 4 regulation wins, you've got lots of catching up to do, and it's a hard league to catch up in.
It's almost like they've been playing playoff hockey from a desperation standpoint since the 15 to 20 game mark.
And they are injured, too, without arguably their best defenseman, Eric Johnson, tonight. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Nathan MacKinnon, also out of the lineup. Jamie McGinn, a former Shark, who really established himself after a trade to Colorado as a third-line, even sometimes second or first-line player. Jesse Winchester, Ryan Wilson, Patrick Bortolo, the long list of injured, and Patrick Roy's team is a little thin here, especially on the blue line as they try and get back in this thing late in the year. Marleau to Fedun for San Jose. Hurdle trying to slip a pass through. That wouldn't go. Denied by Gennon. And Matt Irwin now will flip it in behind the Colorado defense.
I was really impressed with Landeskog's comments after the Edmonton game. He came out, called out his team. He goes, you know what, in this league, it doesn't matter. If you get out-competed, you're not going to win. We didn't deserve to win the game against Edmonton. Frustrated group after losing twice to Edmonton Oilers in the last week. That's really put this season in peril for them, but I like the leadership from the young player.
Back is Justin Braun for the Sharks. Braun with just 1 goal, but 23 points on the season. Typically paired with Marc-Edouard Vlasic, San Jose's top defensive D-man, who's out of the lineup with a lower body injury tonight. He was hurt in Philadelphia on Saturday and did not return to that game nor play on Sunday in the shootout loss at Pittsburgh.
Colorado playing much better this game than they did against their last game against the Oilers in the defensive zone in particular.
Brad Stewart, the big hit there on the rookie Carlson for San Jose, who's been one of the great unknown stories around the NHL because he came up to the Sharks midway through the season and wasn't long before he found himself playing with Joe Thornton and Joe Pavelski, and he's been able to stick with that line for the past couple of months.
One of those players, the NHL level actually suits him probably better than the American Hockey League, playing with the talent up here.
We'll step aside, still scoreless here in San Jose. Tomorrow at 10 Eastern, PBC Corner to Corner is on NBCSN. Before they step into the ring, follow the journey of the next generation of fighters as they prepare for their premier boxing champions fight. PBC Corner to Corner tomorrow at 10 Eastern on NBCSN. Here in San Jose, the Avs and Sharks scoreless. Reto Berra with a save off Tommy Wingels. The puck kept in by Brent Burns down to Wingels, still hanging around the Avalanche net. Scott Hannon, who left San Jose for Colorado, now back in Teal. And Burns now reaching back on the pass from Wingels. He'll get it to the net. A routine stop for Berra. Here's Tierney. And now Hannon, saved by Berra. That was just a position save. He felt it, but I'm not sure he saw it. Now Hannon keeps it in, and Berra with a great stop as he reaches out with the left pad. Dump back in, and this will be icing against San Jose.
Well, Chris Tierney's been playing some real nice hockey for the San Jose Sharks. You see Wingels, he goes to the front of the net and just causes a bit of traffic and distraction. And Hannon takes advantage of a turnover. Doesn't have a chance to settle the puck down, but a good low shot. We get a nice look from the net cam and nice little left pad, left toe save from Berra. And Colorado doing a good job in front of their own net. There's been no second or third opportunities for the Sharks, who have 10 shots so far in this game.
Semyon Varlamov has played the majority of the games this year for the Colorado Avalanche. I don't think there's any doubt that he will be the main man for them next season. As for the backup role, this is kind of an opportunity here for Berra to show his worth late in the year, and that's the case for so many players, especially for teams once they've been eliminated from the postseason, although that's not the case yet for either of these, as Stalock makes the save on the bid by Duchesne, set up by Iginla. Jerome Iginla trying to set the table for Mitchell. Mitchell gets a good bounce, trying to whip it to the net, denied by Tomas Hertl, who sends it up the boards for line mate Patrick Marleau. Marleau can't do anything with it, and Mitchell battles Burns down low again. And he gets it around for Duchesne. He's tough to handle. A shifty skater. Look at him go as he stuffs it to the net. And Stalock made a fine save as we saw that display of brilliant skating by Matt Duchesne.
Let's take a look at the Jack Daniels RoboCam. Good zone entry from the Colorado Avalanche, and a good back check down low by number 48, Tomas Hertl. And Alex Stalock making a good save here on Duchesne. Just a nice little spin play from Duchesne down below the goal line, trying to stuff it in underneath Stalock. No can do.
There's Stalock's career numbers against Colorado in a limited amount of work. This is his third straight starting goal for the San Jose Sharks. Martiniemi feeling a little under the weather. Otherwise, we may have seen him in this game or even in Pittsburgh on Sunday when Stalock was also the starter.
2 weeks on the road. A lot of hotel rooms and airplane rides for this hockey team. A bunch of guys have caught a bit of a bug.
Niemi, an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. So the Sharks will have some decisions to make in goal as far as their starter goes.
Communication down here at ice level from the Sharks bench, making sure that Carlson got his head up before getting hit from the defenseman that was coming across the blue line.
Smith, and now Scott, and Braun can't hold the zone, and he has to backpedal in a hurry to hold off Dennis Everberg. Everberg, a nice play to get it through to Cody McLeod, the bouncing puck, and Stalock misplayed it, dropped his stick, but recovered.
Both teams doing a good job of getting back. There's been a few turnovers. That's actually just a deflected puck. Braun, you can see him chasing it down McLeod, trying to jump over Braun's back there. Stalock ended up losing his stick, but a very alert play. Look at Stalock all the way out, takes the bottom part of the net, ends up losing his stick, grabbing it with his blocker.
There was a lot going on there for Alex Stalock, but he was able to fight off the chance for McLeod. Hayda with the keep in. Everberg Forced wide by Dillon.
1 minute left to play.
And now we're inside the final minute of this first period here in San Jose. Cleach to Hayda. He'll scoop one that went off a skate wide. Braun for San Jose to Nieto, and now Tommy Wingels. A shot from Dillon, and that's wide. It had Berra reaching. Now Chris Tierney pulls it off the boards, trying to make a play. Everberg can't steer it clear. Burns, who will shoot from almost anywhere. Wingels to Dillon. He'll fire, and that's blocked by Cleach. And out it comes to McLeod. He'll be looking to get it deep for a line change. Didn't get it as deep as he wanted, but they'll still get the change. And now Iginla with speed off the bench. Broken up by Burns. He'll flip it. And Tierney trying to get it up ice for Hertl, who went to battle to do so. The quick Matt Duchene able to recover that puck. And the Avs will just send it up ice as we come to the conclusion of the opening period here in San Jose. Good flow, good end-to-end play, but nobody getting on the scoreboard. Coming up on the Lexus Intermission Report with Liam, JR, and Keith, the Flyers beat the Pens earlier tonight, and the Ducks continue their quest for the top record in the league. All of that coming up on the Lexus Intermission Report here in San Jose. 20 minutes in the books. It's the Avalanche and the Sharks scoreless on NBCSN. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection, and by M&M's. Can't resist them. Back here in San Jose, where it's time to go inside the glass, presented by Toyota.
Well, this morning we talked to the head coach of the Avalanche, Patrick Roy. He was lauding the leadership from his captain, Gabriel Landeskog. Not easy to be the youngest captain in the history of the NHL. You know, he was a captain at 19, but this is his 4th year as a pro, 3rd as a captain, and he's really settling in from a leadership standpoint. That's what Patrick Roy was talking about. From his practice habits to his off-ice training, nutrition, even just the amount of sleep he gets, to the way he competes. Patrick Roy wants his team to compete hard every night. You can't be a successful team or organization if you don't have that. It starts with your leaders. You look at the leaders they've had over the years. Joe Sakic, a captain for so long, and Gabriel Landeskog really settling in from a leadership standpoint.
He's really dialed it up since the All-Star break. Pre-All-Star break, Landeskog was averaging a little over half a point a game. Since then, in 28 games post-break, almost a point a game, as he does his best to try and get the Avs. Well, right now they're in the conversation, but they're going to need a great run. Probably going to need to win out in the final 6 to really have a shot with some help, and that goes for the Sharks too. Second period underway as Patrick Marleau gets into the Colorado zone. Now back to Brendan Dillon, the former Dallas Stars defenseman, traded early in the year to San Jose. Now Landeskog, second overall drafted by the Avs back in 2011, and Jamie alluded to him becoming the youngest captain in NHL history basically a year later, and the 3rd European captain in Avs history. Of course, that history goes back to when this franchise, Colorado, was in Quebec, the Quebec Nordiques, the franchise that you played for, Davey Baker.
Great memories, and played with Joe Sakic there. Adam Foote was my roommate for a while, a great footer. Now he's a defenseman, assistant coach for the Avalanche.
Now Mitchell, the drop pass for Jarome Iginla. Burns knocks it away from Duchene, but he's got it again. Matt Duchene, and a dangerous chance for Nate Gennon, but he couldn't settle it for a decent shot. And now Melker Karlsson with the dish for Joe Pavelski. Pavelski looking for Scott Hannon, who busts his way to the net. And Iginla on for Mitchell again, and now Matt Irwin with it once more. After this tonight, San Jose has back-to-back home and away with Arizona on Friday and Saturday night, while the Avalanche head to Southern California to play the Ducks, who have a chance to finish first overall, and the Kings, who are desperate. And now a chance at front for Tierney, and Berra got a piece of that. Chris Tierney again for the Sharks. Hands it off. Fedun skates it ahead, fires, and it's blocked. Everberg for Colorado. Tierney gets it to Nieto. He'll turn the corner with speed. Nieto fans on his shot from the bad angle. Berra was able to push across and make the save.
Well, that gets a good nod of approval from the Sharks coaches, the way that Nieto used his speed wide after that turnover in the neutral zone.
Dillon now, and he'll punch it wide. As Smith follows behind the net. Sharks rookie Barclay Goodrow. John Scott. And that'll be taken back up ice by Zach Redmond for the Avs. No score. We're in the second period live at SAP Center in San Jose. A shot, and Stalock's got it as Jordan Caron pulled the trigger, and now another look.
And there's Nieto trying to the move that Forsberg used to. You put the puck underneath the player, and then you go get it. Great Peter Forsberg. And there's the turnover in the neutral zone. Nieto's off to the races. He knows that he's in alone. Just fans on it. Great idea, though. Then he ends up just getting the puck. He's in the corner just trying to almost bank it in off the goalie.
Well, with Nathan MacKinnon not playing in this game tonight for Colorado, it would be a pretty good race between Nieto and Duchesne for the best skater in the rink tonight.
And you bring up MacKinnon, and he struggled a little bit here this season, his sophomore year, as is Tomas Hertl. Even Nieto has from an offensive standpoint. The reality of how good the NHL is really sets in year two, especially if you make a bit of a name for yourself.
And Hertl certainly did that early on, as this shot is tipped by Hertl wide of the net. Couture off the skate of Marleau. Hayda up the boards, but sealed off by Couture. Hertl now switching spots with Couture, who takes it from Tanguay. Braun settling the bouncing puck to Dillon, and his slap shot blocked by Landeskog. And he'll get it across for Alex Tanguay. Landeskog back for Tanguay, wrapped up by Braun. And Logan Couture for San Jose. Nice breakout pass for Dillon, who can skate for a big man. Marleau takes the shot, and Berra with a glove save for Colorado.
Well, San Jose also, they're picking up where they left off last game in Pittsburgh. They didn't like their compete factor in the first period of that game. They trailed 2-0, but they fought back the last 40 minutes, tied the game, ultimately losing it in the shootout. So both teams kind of making amends for bad starts last game. Colorado didn't like their game at all. Very tight checking game. Been pretty physical here tonight, but there has not been a lot of scoring chances. Pretty much one and done every time a team gets a shot on net.
Hannon blocked by Ginla. And then into the feet of Burns. Tough for him to handle. Duchesne for Ginla, who busted through the middle, but it's broken up.
Yeah, nice read there by Scotty Hannon, stepping up, deflecting that puck outside of any danger.
Berra, one of 6 ever goaltenders from Switzerland to play in the NHL. There's another one playing in Calgary, where Berra used to play. Jonas Heller. Now Joe Thornton out of the corner. Last time Thornton got on the score sheet, it was in a game where he registered his 900th NHL assist. That was a little better than a week ago in Toronto.
He's in the longest point drought of the season.
This is Thornton now. And Burns thought Hannon was going to shoot that. Tough for the left-handed shot. Hannon, though, on that pass across his body. As Mitchell will bank it around. And the Sharks, in the meantime, will get a line change.
Sharks with a little more of the territorial edge. The Avalanche doing a good job of keeping the Sharks to the perimeter, outside the dots, if you will, not giving up many scoring chances.
And that'll be deflected up onto the Colorado bench. Can you predict the playoffs? Well, if you can, fill out your bracket, compete against friends, and win great prizes. Visit NHL.com/bracket.
If you can figure it out, let me know, because I can't figure out who's even going to make it. And there's nothing like the NHL playoffs.
And we're not far away now. 2 weeks from tonight. Fedun, the former Edmonton Oiler, where he played the few NHL games prior to the last 2 that he's played. Signed by the Sharks at the beginning of this season. A shot from the wing there, saved by Berra. Tierney, and Irwin struggles to keep it in, and he cannot, and now a 2-on-1. Everberg with McLeod, and the shot deflected by Fedun's stick, up and out of play. We'll be back at SAP Center.
Taylor Fedun for the Sharks, the defenseman, does a great job of breaking up this 2-on-1, almost a 3-on-1. Feet wide, stick out, stays outside the goalpost. And you want to stay outside. If you're in between the 2 goalposts, if that puck hits you, it could ricochet into the net. Take away the pass, push the player with the puck to a bad position, bad angle. And he did that, and then he had the presence of mind to go down. Great defensive play.
Stalock may have made his save of the year in Pittsburgh on Sunday in San Jose. Shootout loss to the Penguins. That was a game where the Penguins went up 2-0. San Jose battled back, and Stalock made a save off Evgeny Malkin that was in the awesome category. He finished with 31 saves in the game, and the Sharks were able to extract a point out of that one at the end of a long 7-game road trip.
He's a popular guy in the dressing room. Works so hard in practice. Stays out if guys want to do extra shots.
Good forecheck here by Colorado, and they get the puck. And it's slid behind the net by Joey Hishin, but intercepted there by Fedun. They'll lob one up the middle, looking for Barclay Goodrow, who turns away for a line change. 13-9, San Jose ahead on shots in this one. The only other time these teams met must seem like an eternity ago for the players. It was October 28th. Everybody was in the playoff picture on October 28th. San Jose won that game at the Pepsi Center in a shootout, 3-2, on a night when San Jose outshot Colorado 51-33. Semyon Varlamov was between the posts for the Avalanche that night, and he was unconscious, looking Patrick Waugh-like at times.
I was just going to say, there's the great Patrick Waugh, and there's Varlamov, who's played 30 of the last 32 games. He's going to get a night off tonight, and he's not going to play right now. As of right now, Patrick Waugh said he's going to go with Reto Berra Friday against the Ducks, and then Saturday, Varlamov against the LA Kings.
I think they might be trying to find out exactly what they have in Berra. Here's O'Reilly, who's done the 8-game point streak, longest in the NHL, and tried to extend it right there. The feeling might be that Varlamov may not be a 60-plus game goaltender in order to be a champion goaltender, and that they need a backup who can play a little more. We'll see if Berra gets the kind of run that they hope he does and proves himself to be that guy. Pavelski takes it off the near boards and turns into Colorado territory. A drop pass for Thornton, broken up by Landeskog, and now Duchesne weaves his way through traffic, sends it in behind the defense. Stalock to handle it confidently to Scott Hannon, and now Burns with speed up the middle. San Jose's high-octane defenseman, and a wrist shot that had something on it, caught by Berra.
Well, that's a great job from a breakout from the San Jose Sharks standpoint. Thornton finds Burns. Burns gets some speed, and then look at, he's going to use the D as a screen. Changes the angle of his stick. Reto Berra stays with it the whole way, snags it with a nice glove save. Good execution on all accounts.
Burns with 56 points, fourth in San Jose, team scoring 16 of them goals, although he hasn't found the back of the net in 15 straight games. He's been piling up the assists, Burns has, as he continues on a 4-game assist streak. Berra sweeps this away from danger. And Aguila now. That'll end up back on Brent Burns' stick, who played forward for the Sharks last year. Back on the blue line, apparently to stay now for San Jose.
set a career high in assists and points this year. Playing on D has definitely not affected his offensive production.
Duchesne the one-timer, and Stalock with a big save off Matt Duchesne to keep it scoreless.
And there's Brent Burns. There's a shot from the game at Levi Stadium. That was the only goal from the San Jose Sharks. Randy, you mentioned he's picking up a lot of assists. We're seeing a lot of goals. He's got, I would say, from a defenseman standpoint, I don't think there's a defenseman in the league that has a quicker release with the accuracy and the velocity of his wrist shot. Shea Weber, there's some D that might have a harder slap shot, but a slap shot takes a lot longer to release. His wrist shot is coming in. It's zinging in there to probably about 80 to 85 miles an hour. Very, very quick and accurate.
40 assists for Burns, 56 points to lead all Sharks defensemen. He leads the team in blocks with 118, leads them in average ice time with 24 minutes per game. And while he hasn't scored in 15, he did get the shootout deciding goal in Philadelphia Saturday afternoon. He's been a utility knife for Todd McClellan, playing from the blue line this year.
A long representative at the All-Star game.
Wingel's shot saved by Berra. Now Tierney on the near boards. Kept alive by Matt Nieto. Tierney takes it, tried to move around Redmond unsuccessfully. Colorado gets a change up ice as Goodrow skates it in for San Jose. We come up on the halfway point of this game, and no one's turned a red light on yet. John Scott. He's managed to do that twice this year, Scott. One of his goals was a beauty early in the year as the shot from the wing is blocked, and not many pucks getting to the net so far here in the second period as we remain 0-0 up on the scoreboard. Freddie Hamilton traded by the Sharks to Colorado at the trade deadline back in March. Out on the ice for Colorado now, wearing number 13. We will step aside and return to the Bay Area.
Talked yesterday, this morning about getting more compete. I think you're getting that from your team. How do you get some more scoring chances against the Sharks?
I'm very happy the way we're competing. I mean, a little too much. I mean, too many giveaways in our breakout, but overall, I mean, I like the way we've been playing. We had a really good chance here from Duchesne, one-timer from the slot area. I thought that could have go in.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Welcome.
There's Matt Duchesne, who, like a number of players on this Colorado team, has seen his scoring drop off this year. 50 points right now for Duchesne. He finished last year with 76. However, when he scores again, if it happens down the stretch here, it'll be his fourth season of 20 or more goals. But the Avalanche have been a little more offensively challenged for sure than last year. Well, the Premier League is on NBCSN. Liverpool heads to London as Arsenal goes for their 9th straight home win. Arsenal, Liverpool. And the coverage begins Saturday morning at 7 Eastern. Every match, every week, every team. The Premier League is on NBCSN all season long. A turnover created, and now Marleau for the Sharks, and Berra makes the save as Patrick Marleau tried to untie it.
You know, the other Patrick here, Patrick Waugh, the head coach of the Avalanche, just mentioned that in the interview, saying we're turning the puck over too much on the breakout, and that's a good play by Hannon, and a nice little pass, and a good job by Berra taking away that bottom part of the net. There's a nice little pass over to Marleau. Kind of loses the handle. He doesn't get a whole lot on it. He kind of just swats it towards the net. And there was Couture trying to corral a rebound. None to be had.
Carlson holds the zone, but now it's back out to the young Swede, playing in his first NHL season at 24 years of age, coming to the Sharks from Skellefteå in the Swedish Elite League, where he won a couple of championships. And you can see in his play the maturity of his game at 24 in his rookie year. Duchesne on the backhand to Mitchell. And from up top, the shot deflected away by Braun. And Ginla now for the Avs. Duchesne watched by Dillon. Trying to close on him, but he cuts away. Now to Mitchell on the other side. Tyson Barrie. That's for John Mitchell. And now Pavelski intercepts. And Dillon flips it ahead. He wants Thornton, but Hayda's back there safely for Colorado. 8:10 left here in the second period. And this will find its way down the ice, but icing waved off by the linesman as Nick Holden's back defensively for Colorado. Everberg and on to Cody McLeod. Second in the NHL in penalty minutes, McLeod begins this day with 183 of them.
Leads the team in penalty minutes and hits. Got 238 hits on the year. Cody McLeod, physical presence. There's a north-south player, just brings it every night. One of those players, easy to play with. You know what he's going to do. He wants to play physical. He wants to go to the front of the net. You know he's going to finish his check. He wins a nice battle, does a good job there.
Downey of the Penguins picked up a few more PIMs tonight. He's leading everybody at 232 penalty minutes in what I'm sure was a frustrating loss for the seemingly playoff-bound Penguins against a Flyers team that probably isn't going to make it.
Well, it's a good thing for the Penguins. The Flyers aren't going to make it. If those teams played, that's 7 straight wins in a row for the Flyers over the Penguins. Oh, Malcolm tonight, he's injured.
Talk about teams dominating the other in a particular building. Colorado has lost 12 in a row on San Jose ice.
Oh, wow. 0-8-4. Back to what, 2008?
Yeah, February of the 2008 season was the last time the Avalanche won a game here in San Jose. Ben Smith, a nice move to get away from the forechecking Joey Hishin. Scott trying to steer it out. Redmond seals it off. And it comes to Matt Irwin for San Jose. Scott. And back for Fedun. Steered deep by Goodrow for a line change.
Both coaches just rolling all 4 lines here. Only been 1 penalty tonight. Both teams have been very disciplined. A methodical game from both clubs.
Here's O'Reilly now with that 8 consecutive game point streak. And his shot is saved by Stalock. That's the longest touring streak in the NHL. He was the NHL's 3rd star of the week this past week.
Not just 8 straight, though. He's got 13 points. Just averaging 2 points a game, 5 goals, 8 assists.
Kicked into the corner by Holden off the pass from Landeskog. O'Reilly battling Hurdle down low. Burns there too as it comes to Couture. And back onto the stick of Tomas Hurdle. Here is Scott Hannon, who's been jumping in offensively tonight. One of the stronger efforts we've seen from the former Avalanche and Sharks defenseman Hannon as Burns' shot hit Landeskog. And that stung the Avs captain. Stays out there as it's at the side of the net. Barra with the paddle down, sealing off the path to the goal.
Fountain of youth night here for Scotty Hannon. He's been joining the rush all night long against his old club.
Landeskog with time now, and he'll backhand it through the middle. He wanted O'Reilly. It'll go all the way down for icing. Let's take a look at the player profile with insights from SAP, and we feature 24-year-old Ryan O'Reilly. 8 game point streak, the longest of his career. And he's solid, 6'1", 210, and he seems to play even bigger than that.
You know, and it's not just, he's got the size and strength, Randy, but he's so quick, those first 2 steps. He can establish body position, and then he just out-muscles players. And that's what he's been doing. Doing a great job down low, below the dots in the offensive zone.
Thornton. It stays alive to Carlson. Duchesne, a nice play on Joe Thornton. And now Matt Duchesne with speed from the outside to the inside. And the save by Stalock on a great individual effort by Matt Duchesne. Colorado's number 9 trying to get the Avs on the board. But Alex Stalock says no. push to the playoffs on many critical games coming up. Tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern on NBCSN, Boston and Detroit with coverage beginning with NHL Live. Then Friday at 7 Eastern on the NHL Network. The Blackhawks and Sabres Sunday at noon Eastern. NBC's Game of the Week. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia do it all over again. Why not? A great final 10 days of regular season hockey, and you can already see the playoff-type feel coming into some of these critical games late in the regular season. Just an appetizer for what's to come 2 weeks from tonight. Berra with the save off the shot from up in the high slot from Dillon, and he was able to cover it just in time.
Now there's Paul Dvorsky. His second last game in the NHL tonight. He's got some family here. I talked to him a little bit before the game. Devo and I, we broke in around the same time. We were in the American Hockey League. I was with the Halifax Citadels, which was at the time the Quebec Nordiques farm team. And we came up to the NHL right around the same time. This is his 28th year. And just want to say congratulations to a great guy and an awesome referee for all he has done for the game of hockey over the years.
Fedun back for San Jose. Knew he was going to take a hit from rugged Cody McLeod. And now McLeod trying to dig it out and get it out front, but cannot. And Chris Tierney will send it ahead. No score and under 5 to go here in the second period. Fedun from the far side. Nieto. Wingles gets a shove. Keeps his footing, and San Jose keeps the puck. This one will ricochet over to Matt Irwin, who sends it back around looking for Wingles or Nieto. It ends up on Zach Redmond's stick for a bit. Now back to Nieto and Redmond. And scooped out of trouble by Cleach for Colorado to McLeod and down.
Colorado does a good job again of keeping San Jose to the perimeter. Last game against Edmonton, in particular on the first Edmonton goal, Edmonton was on the perimeter, but the reaction time from the Avs players too slow. You can control the space, but you also have to take away time. They gave too much time to the Oilers. A backdoor play gave up that 1-0 goal. Tonight, much different. Pushing San Jose to the perimeter, but also taking away the time. Not allowing the puck carrier to really get set, make plays, get shots to the net. So a real good defensive effort from the Avs tonight.
Pavelski and Burns with a shot that staggers Everberg, but he gets credit for a block.
He already blocked the first shot with his left glove.
Burns again, they score, and it's Scott Hannon, and it's 1-0 Sharks.
What a play by Burns. Scott Hannon bound and determined all night to be up ice. And we get a nice look at Burns, and he fires it just to the side, just off that right post. Times it perfectly with the left-handed shooting. Scotty Hannon coming in, down low, redirecting it. Short side, no chance for Bear. That is a perfect tic-tac-toe play. And Scott Hannon, we already talked about him. He's been up ice all night long. He's got the legs going, churning tonight, and he gives the Sharks a 1-0 lead.
Second goal of the year for the veteran Hannon. Burns with his 41st assist. And Joe Pavelski gets the other at 16:35. In what, well, who knows, could be Scott Hannon's final season in the National Hockey League. He scores a big goal for San Jose, the team that drafted him, against his former team that traded for him.
Big smiles here from the coaches, in particular Jimmy Johnson, Larry Robinson. Jimmy Johnson just looked over and said, now that's how you go D to D.
So San Jose breaks the ice here on Scott Hannon's 38th career goal, coming in his 16th season.
What a pass by Burns.
And now Dillon in deep to Colorado territory. Carlson on the wing, it's Pavelski, and that ricochets just wide. As Thornton was headed for the net, puck never ended up there, but Bear was lucky it didn't end up in behind him. Back comes Carlson for San Jose. Forced wide by Barry, slides it down for Pavelski. Right on him is Hayda. Thornton behind the goal line. Nowhere to go with Iginla playing tight on him, but in comes Carlson to move it to the point. Irwin, Fedun changes the angle, and Pavelski tried to tip it home but could not. San Jose building on the momentum of that goal by Hannon. Trying to get another here before the break. This is where Patrick Roy needs his group to settle down here. It's been a fairly evenly played game, but with the offensive firepower that San Jose has, they could just as easily get up on you by 2 in a hurry. Todd McClellan sends out a checking line now, but he's got Burns at the point with that wicked shot. Goodrow sending it to Ben Smith. Smith, nice move, and now Goodrow behind the net. Flicks it back. Hannon again. Blocked by Tyson Barrie, and chipped off the glass clear by Freddie Hamilton. We come up on a minute to play here in the second period at San Jose.
1 minute left to play.
Barrie will flip it in, and O'Reilly giving chase against Burns. Ryan O'Reilly can't hang on as Chris Tierney sends it across for Scott. Back is Landeskog, quickly up ice. Tanguay takes it off the back skate, busting up the middle. He's pulled down, and it'll be tripping, not a penalty shot. Tanguay was hoping, but he didn't get the penalty shot called.
Well, Alex Tanguay just finds a seam in that neutral zone, and you can see him. He just kicks that puck up, tries to just push the puck up out in front of him so he can skate into it. That's an alert play by the veteran. You can see Burns in a desperation move trying to dive and ends up taking out the skates of Tanguay, and we get the first Avs power play of the evening.
So now Colorado, whose power play has struggled badly this year, ranked 29th in the NHL, needs it to get back even in this game. We're down to half a minute in the second, so if they don't score here, they'll have some carryover time on fresh ice to start the third. Barrie into the San Jose zone. Wheeling it around, and Tanguay's there, so's Iginla. And now at the point, O'Reilly. Out of the corner, Landeskog. O'Reilly, far side. Barrie shot blocked in front of Stalock. O'Reilly darts in, but Dillon's able to get to the puck, cannot clear. Landeskog across. One-timer by Barrie just before the horn. And that's it for 40 minutes here in San Jose. A minute 19 of power play time to carry over for Colorado. Coming up on the Discover Card Intermission Report, Liam, JR, and Keith standing by. Shen nets a pair tonight, and the Ducks to the south of us flying at home in Orange County against the Edmonton Oilers. After 2 periods, it's the San Jose Sharks 1, the Colorado Avalanche 0, as the push to the playoffs continues here on NBCSN. The NHL on NBCSN is brought to you by the Discover It card. It's a game changer. By SAP. Visit NHL.com/stats with insights from SAP. And by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. Brent Burns sits in the penalty box for San Jose as Colorado starts this third period on the power play for a minute and 19 seconds. We welcome you back inside SAP Center in downtown San Jose, the capital of Silicon Valley, where the Sharks and Avalanche are grasping at playoff straws right now, trying to get some postseason oxygen, and the air is thin after tonight. 5 games left for each team, and the loser this evening, if it ends in regulation, will be hard-pressed to make it, with perhaps being as many as 9 or even 10 points out of a playoff spot by Friday night.
Well, right now, the Sharks, if they win out, they'll have 95 points. If the Avs win out 94, that may not be enough. But I can't see the team losing regulation tonight having any chance whatsoever.
Tyson Barrie now on this Colorado power play. They have the second to last ranked power play in the NHL. And over their last 10 games, it's only been marginally better than the rest of the year, 16%. Barrie shot blocked by Tommy Wingels, who paid the price. And it's cleared down with 10 to go on the man advantage.
Ice bag hockey right there, Tommy Wingels. Doing a good job blocking that shot. And this Avalanche power play struggled in different ways. A little bit too many passes early on. Then they were just snake bitten around the net. Then they lost their confidence. So it's been different areas. They can't really pinpoint one reason why the power play has been so dismal for most of the season.
Mitchell with a hit that knocked Fedun down. Now John Mitchell trying to set the table at the point for Brad Stewart. There have been only 2 minor penalties called in this game, 1 to each team. And Colorado on that power play was unable to generate a shot, even with the fresh ice to start this period, as Stalock makes an ice save through traffic off the shot from Nick Holden.
Well officiated game by both the referees and the linesmen tonight. Give them a little kudos.
Here's Holden. 5 goals this year. He had 10 last season, so the Avs have lost a little scoring from their defense this year, too, as Duchesne has it poke checked away by Braun. McLeod. And now Everberg back for Cody McLeod. Braun now will skate it. Sends it ahead for Wingels. This drops flat, so there's no icing as Barrie's tied up by 2 sharp forecheckers. Nieto and Wingels both there. And it went through the skates of for Chris Tierney, rather. And on to Jan Hayden. Trouble for Stalock, and then he's bailed out by Dillon, who was able to knock it away from Marc-Andre Cliche, who had an open net. Marleau boots it back in, and Colorado with possession once more. 1-0 San Jose on the goal by defenseman Scott Hannon in the second period. And this is icing.
Well, a jumbled play by Stalock. There's the dumping. The puck is rolling. Stalock just tries to hit it with his blocker. Doesn't get it. And a great job by Dillon coming back to the front of the net. That's why you always go back to the front of the net first. He didn't head to the corner where he thought maybe the puck would go. And there you can see it. Hit the inside of the blocker. Comes right out front. Dillon was there to scoop it away.
Burns. And now Tanguay backhands it to center, but Dillon tries to get it right back into the Avalanche zone and does. Nate Gennon, and from the corner, O'Reilly can't catch it. Hurdle steering it in, and both teams change on the fly here early in the third period. Mitchell across center. He's got a Gill on his wing. Fans on the shot. Fedun and Irwin. Thornton trying to keep it moving. Thornton and Iginla both on the ice as Pavelski is in some difficulty. If the puck hit him.
No, he collided with Thornton. They didn't see each other. Thornton's even coming back. He's taking a look at him.
And Pavelski's stick went flying, and he's there on the bench alongside you, not headed to the dressing room yet.
I think Thornton might have high-sticked him in that situation. I don't know if it was a full collision, but Pavelski's shaken up. He's staying on the bench, as you just mentioned.
Trouble for Brad Stewart. Now they settle it down, and Holden drives it in.
Hockey player, he's staying in there. Hockey players and hockey announcers, too. Brian Engelum took one in the head last game, had to leave for a few stitches. Still came back, though. Great to see.
Not the first time Brian Engblom took some stitches.
Right.
Goodrow with a shot, and that'll deflect up into the screen and out of play as you look at Pavelski.
And there's Pavelski. You can see he's turning to get back on ice, and Thornton just clips him right in the mouth. Pavelski goes down. There you go. We'll get to go spend a little time with the dentist tomorrow. Perfect. Just what he wants to do.
So a little blood trickling down from the gum line of Joe Pavelski after that inadvertent high stick from Joe Thornton. Dillon, and Berra to save. Rebound, and Berra again denying Nieto. Wingles now pulls it out of the corner. Against Cleach, and gives to Nieto, who tries to get through traffic. Cleach preventing that as he and Wingles battle again. Down they go, but Tierney with the puck. Chris Tierney and Redo Vedra able to clear that away as he made the initial save, but that puck was up for grabs for a moment there. Berra now with 19 saves on the night. And here's O'Reilly. Nice deke around Marleau, then he kicks it back up to the stick, keeps moving, shielding Marleau. Back out of the neutral zone, Landeskog, and he'll pull the trigger, and it's wide. Stewart back on the boards. O'Reilly off a cycle to Landeskog, and now the wrist shot by Holden, caught by Alex Stalock. 6 minutes gone here in the third. 1-0 San Jose. Now for the third time in his career this season, Joe Pavelski, a member of the 30-30 club, 30 goals and 30 assists. And there's the 4 players in the NHL along with Pavelski. Tavares of the Islanders, Tarasenko of the Blues, and Seguin of the Dallas Stars, who are in that club.
Fine company he's with, Joe Pavelski. This is the third time he's done it. You don't take the lockout year, the shortened year. It's only 48 games. He's the only player to do it in the last 3 seasons where the teams have played full schedule.
We're live in the third period here in San Jose on this Wednesday night. Glad you're along wherever you're watching in North America here on NBCSN. Randy Hahn with Jamie Baker. These two teams try to stay alive in the Stanley Cup playoff race. Logan Couture, and it's off his stick, but stays in, and Brendan Dillon will get it behind the goal for Tomas Hertl.
Dillon's had a solid night for the San Jose Sharks. Steady and joined the rush. Very good in the defensive zone.
Braun pursued by Landeskog, and he gave it up to Iginla as a result of the pressure. And it's back the other way. Iginla and Thornton on the ice together right now for these respective teams. Between the two of them, they have played 213 Stanley Cup playoff games in their career. One of them, or maybe both, doesn't appear to be headed to the playoffs this year. There's a shot that drops in front of Berra off a block. And now Thornton and Iginla tie up. The two veterans working the near side board. Iginla staying close to Thornton and try to extract that puck from him. Cannot. Fedun to the front. And that's blocked by Brad Stewart. And back up ice comes Mitchell for Colorado. Pavelski. And now Tierney. And he got a good bounce there off of Barry. And it comes to this side for Fedun. Wrist shot knocked down by Redo Berra. And then another save. And then another. And then they score. Chris Tierney. And it's 2-0 Sharks.
Stick-to-itiveness. Definition. Go to the front of the net. Hack and whack. There's one chance. There's two. There's Tierney with the third. Staying with it right there. Get your stick open in front of the net. 3 whacks. 2-0 Sharks. And Chris Tierney, who's been also a pleasant surprise. Spent most of the first half of this year in Worcester. Gained his confidence his first year as a pro. Gets his 5th NHL goal. And this guy's got some great potential. What a prospect for the San Jose Sharks. He's got tremendous hockey sense. Voted last year in the Ontario Hockey League by the coaches the player with the most hockey sense. And he showcased it there in front of the net getting open.
Nieto and Fedun get the assists. That'll be Fedun's first point as a San Jose Shark in his second game.
First assist in the NHL. He has 2 goals in 5 games.
And now we have an injured Shark. It's Scott Hannon. And Hannon will skate with hand over face over to the San Jose bench.
That's by his eye. He's bleeding pretty badly. And he went back. We're going to see it right here.
Oh, the puck got him straight in the face.
Yeah, and I think it hit him right in the eye, Randy. Let's see. He had no time to react. Took it right in the face. You could see him grab right away. Goes down. Sharks already without Vlasic and Mueller. And now Hannon heads back to the room. He's had a heck of a game here for the Sharks, and we can just hope that he's going to be okay. There's Chris Tierney, the goal scorer. That's a huge goal for the Sharks. Get that 2-0 lead.
Well, Tierney and Nieto went to where most of the goals in this league are scored from. Right around that crease. And they stuck with it, as you said. And now they've opened up some separation in this game. 2-0. The 2 goals coming on 24 shots as San Jose's third line comes through.
Tierney's been playing some real smart hockey lately. Does a great job of getting deep down behind the goal line. He likes to go behind the net. He's got a bunch of assists this year from behind the net. That's where Gretzky made that place famous, and Tierney's done a good job this year. Kind of keeps the goaltender on the goal line. He's got the vision to find guys that get open in the slot area.
Wednesday night rivalry is on NBCSN with the push to the playoffs heating up. Trace Bergeron and the Bruins take on Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals. Bruins, Capitals. Coverage begins 1 week from tonight, next Wednesday at 7 Eastern on NBCSN. Wednesday night rivalry, the night you love to hate.
Justin Braun disagrees, but he's going to get a delay of game penalty. And there's Braun. Keep an eye. You can see the puck going up, and the referees are saying it went out and over the glass before the blue line. Sharks seem to think, some of the Sharks players coming off think it hit the glass. Referees disagree, and if there's a break that the Avs needed, trailing 2-0 right now with just under 11 minutes left, this is it.
And if this troubled power play wants to redeem itself late in the season, this would be the time to do it.
Patrick Waugh was saying this morning, that's the one area that has really handcuffed his team this year. He thinks, you know, when your power play's not going, the other teams, first of all, they're not worried about taking penalties per se. They can be a little more aggressive. And when you don't score on the power play or you don't use it for momentum, it can actually drain your team. And that's happened too many times to this Avalanche team.
They checked the time on the game clock. 11:24 remains, and now with Braun off for delay of game, Colorado with their second power play of this game. On their other opportunity, which spanned the end of the second and the beginning of this third, they didn't generate a shot on goal. Duchesne from the boards. Redmond across, Duchesne, they score! And the power play comes through for Colorado. Matt Duchesne makes it 2-1.
Well, Joe Pavelski breaks the stick off the faceoff. And that really handcuffs. There's Pavelski in the middle. You can see him knocking down his man. And then it becomes a 2-on-1 down low. Duchesne just goes short side. And he finds it short side top corner. Stalock a little bit slow getting over to that right post. You can see it kind of hit his arm, roll up his shoulder and in. And Duchesne, who's had a real strong game for the Avalanche tonight, he got the message from Patrick Waugh, who skated this team pretty hard on Monday near the end of practice. He has responded tonight. I think he's been the Avs' best player attacking in the offensive zone, and he just capitalizes on that power play.
And with that goal, it's his fourth 20 or more goal season for Matt Duchesne. Redmond and Mitchell get the assist at 8:54. That is only the 20th power play goal on the road this year for Colorado, but it's a big one. And now they'll try and get the momentum from that to tie this game here in the third. Still plenty of time left for them as Duchesne works out of the corner against Matt Irwin. And Irwin able to keep Duchesne from getting back to the front of the net. Now he's got it again, gets it to the angle, plays it toward the front, but it didn't reach the goal. Mitchell drifts back to the blue line, gets the shot away that's influenced by the stick of Irwin. Stewart holds in, but his scoop deep was cut off by Fadoon, who sends it the other way.
Duchesne having a strong shift down low. One of the most elusive players in the NHL, showcasing some of his skills in tight confines.
Hurdle for San Jose. He sends it in. Marleau was there, but it comes back this side, courtesy of Reto Berra. Now Logan Couture for San Jose. And Dillon from the point. Back for Couture. Spins off Landeskog. Gets it down to Marleau, who's checked by Barrie. And Gabe Landeskog gave it to Barrie, whose pocket's picked by Couture. He centers and Marleau scores! What a play by Logan Couture to Patrick Marleau, and it's 3-1.
You always want to see how a team responds. Sharks give up a power play goal. A great steal down low by Couture, and you could see him get his head up. He kind of stumbled, but there's Marleau right there. Look at Marleau going down on one knee, goes far side. No chance for Berra. And a great takeaway by Couture. A better pass and all finished from Patty Marleau, who gets his 22nd on the year.
So San Jose with goals from their second and third lines and their defense. And Marleau records his 18th goal of the season. Couture with his 38th assist. And San Jose responds and regains their 2-goal lead here in the third.
That's for Marleau. He enjoys playing this Avalanche team. In the last 13 games, he now has 10 goals against them. That's a big one to regain that 2-goal lead.
3-1 now as Cody McLeod tries to get by Taylor Fadoon. McLeod losing his size as he pushed Wingles off the puck. The Burns will flick it down the ice. San Jose playing a man short on the blue line with Scott Hannon off for repairs. Here's Dillon, who's had a strong night. Berra sets it up for Jerome McGinley, Colorado's leading scorer.
You know, the thing that concerns me about Hannon, Randy, is a guy like that, you can come off. If you're cut in the face, you don't like it, it's annoying, you're bleeding. But if it's around your eye, you're almost scared. And he had that look in his eye as he went off the ice. So I hope he's okay. You know, players have been hit. We saw Brian England get hit last game, but I've been hit in the face before. You get hit anywhere around the mouth, teeth, whatever. It's bothersome, but anything around your eye, it's scared. And you could see him, he was kind of drifting. He didn't know where to go out on the ice, but he wanted to get to the training room as fast as he can. So a scary moment here for Scotty Hannon. We wish him the best. Hope it's not bad.
Reto Berra just came out of the crease. Patrick Roy, of course, not shy to pull his goalie early. And Berra almost on his way to the bench again. He's kind of in between the hash marks and the net. Now he goes back into his crease.
Habs have scored 6 goals this year, while they had the goalie pulled in on the bench.
Thornton and Berra there with the glove. Good thing he was in the net. as Patrick Marleau gives San Jose a 2-goal lead back here in San Jose. Every game, every night. Don't miss a moment. The NHL Stanley Cup playoffs begin April 15th on NBC, NBCSN, CNBC, NHL Network, and USA. And the Anaheim Ducks will be in them tonight. A 5-1 win for the Ducks over Edmonton, and Anaheim clinches their third straight Pacific Division title. And the Ducks is who's up next for Colorado. There's Chris Tierney, one of San Jose's 3-goal scorers. 3 of the 4 goals in this game have come in this third period. Pavelski on the face-off win. Back for Joe Thornton. Taken back by Jan Hejda, and he'll clear it back into the San Jose end of the ice. Colorado won the Central Division last year. Patrick Roy won the Jack Adams Trophy as Coach of the Year. But it's been a different 2014-2015 season. A struggle from the onset for Colorado. And after this one, they'll be down to 5 games to try and make up a lot of ground. They still have time in this one, though, with just under 7.5 to go. John Mitchell trying to dangle his way around Brett Burns. Cannot. Iginla will tap it across. Ada waits for the line change, and we'll keep an eye on Reto Berra in that Colorado goal after we saw him leave the ice earlier when the Avalanche had some pressure in the San Jose end of the ice.
You know, Patrick Roy last year, as you already alluded to, kind of set the trend of getting that extra attacker out earlier than most teams are customary for. Down by 2. Still lots of time left in this game for the Avs.
McLeod in behind the San Jose defense, and he gets it back behind his net from Everberg. McLeod off the boards, wanted Klisch up the middle, intercepted, and Wingels comes up ice with Tierney and Nieto. Berra, stick save. Nieto wins the race to the puck, but now Klisch will get it behind the net. Kept in by Irwin. His shot tipped by Tierney, and that's off the high glass and back down to Wingels. And around for Nieto in the corner. He'll look, spots Tierney behind the net. Back to Nieto. Couldn't settle it for a drive toward the goal, and Everberg will pick it up for Colorado. Sends it down. And this is going to be awfully close to icing here, and they do blow it down. And now Colorado's got a tired group out that has to take this face-off in their own end.
Well, that's a play. Everberg's got to take that extra few strides in the neutral zone, get the puck to the red line, then dump it in, allowing everybody to change. This is his fourth stint with the Avs this year. Called from Lake Erie, their American Hockey League team affiliate.
Everberg, an undrafted free agent from Sweden.
Västerås, Sweden.
And another icing against Colorado. Although they did get a partial change. As that puck headed down the ice, they're going to have to bring those players back on.
He's actually checking out Everberg in their media guy, Colorado. He's got a good salad going. I was pretty impressed. The hair going.
Fedun. And now Marleau. San Jose in front 3-1 here in the third. Irwin shot. And Avs will get it cleared. McLeod up the middle. He wanted Tange. It comes back to Reto Berra. And so far, at least in the last few shifts, the Avs just haven't been able to establish themselves 5-on-5 in the San Jose zone. Otherwise, I think Waugh would have had Berra out of there again. Pavelski to the net, and Karlsson couldn't connect with it. It comes ricocheting off the boards, pinball style, and Berra covers with his glove. 5:18 left to go in the third. We'll be back in San Jose. Well, here are the Western Conference standings up to date after Anaheim's victory over Edmonton earlier tonight. San Jose with 83 points could move to 85, leapfrog Dallas, and that would then leave them 5 out of the last wild card, and then they'd be cheering against the Winnipeg Jets, against the LA Kings. And, well, at this time of the year, you can only do what you can do on the ice and then cheer against everybody else. There's Paul Dvorsky. You alluded to him earlier, Jamie, his final year in the NHL. A great story. Paul's mother, Bernadette, in 1989 was a nurse working at the maternity ward of a hospital in Guelph, Ontario, and she was the delivering nurse for Logan Couture on the day he was born, March 28th of 1989. Paul Dvorsky's mother delivered Logan Couture, and if that's not enough of a coincidence, Dvorsky lives in Hershey, New York, and his wife, Paul Dvorsky's wife, is from San Jose.
I think Logan, if there's a game puck to be had, he's got to give it to Dvorsky after this game, no? That's awesome. Great story.
As you saw, the Colorado net vacated by Reto Berra as they are going to roll the dice again here now with just under 5 to go in the third. A 3-1 San Jose lead, and Colorado at this point desperate, beyond desperate, to somehow mathematically stay alive. A leave it to someone else to do all the calculations if they were to lose in regulation tonight. But they would be in a much more dire situation than they already are. And headed to Southern California, which is not an easy back-to-back at Anaheim and LA. Stalock, and he'll shoot at the empty net. Tyson Barrie back.
Gets a smile from Anthony Niemi on the Sharks bench.
Well, Stalock's probably figuring if Scott Hannon scores tonight, why shouldn't I take a shot? Hannon with only his second goal of the year. John Mitchell now, and he'll send it deep in behind Brendan Dillon.
2-goal lead allows you the comfort to maybe take a chance on the icing.
Empty net for Couture, and that should seal the deal. 4-1 as Couture scores into the empty net.
Couture had points in 3 straight games coming in tonight. Just takes that nice pass in the neutral zone, kind of veers over, gets to the red line, just in case he misses. And it's almost a center cut.
Well, Logan Couture with his 26th goal of the year when he's in a season where I think he feels like he's been a little snake-bitten when it comes to goals. He's had so many chances. The bounces haven't always gone his way, but he gets an easy one there. And that makes it a 3-goal lead, San Jose's largest of the night. Carlson and Burns will get the assists, and for Brent Burns, that's 2 helpers tonight now to give him 42.
Well, Couture's had the challenge for the most part this year of matching up against the other team's top line, which is of course going to impact your offense a little bit.
Red Rivera leads the net again. And you can hear the shouts on the bench.
You'd never see 3 empty net goals in one period, would you?
Hayda. And that's backhanded by John Scott, and he will score! And John Scott, from in his own zone, scores his 3rd goal of the year, and it's 5-1.
And there was much joy in San Jose as John Scott gets his career-high 3rd. Much to the big smiles for this Sharks team. They haven't been able to smile that much this year, but they are right now.
That is dead center. As you can tell, John Scott, a popular figure in the San Jose dressing room as he scores his 3rd from Ben Smith into the empty net. And now a comeback would seem rather unattainable for Colorado. Down 5-1 with 3 and change left to go.
That's 4 empty net goals against for the Abs in 2 straight games. Lost 4-1 to Edmonton last game. They were losing 2-1 before giving up 2 empty netters.
And they would seem destined now to lose for the 13th time in a row on San Jose ice. And an offside play at the San Jose blue line. 2:46 left to go, as all but one of the goals in this game have come here in this 3rd period.
Todd McClellan getting the 4th line back out there. Good to see Ben Smith get an assist. This is his 14th game with the San Jose Sharks after getting traded at the deadline from the Chicago Blackhawks. Now got 5 points.
So the Sharks, with a victory, can close the gap on Winnipeg to 5. And of course, the Jets will play again before San Jose takes the ice on Friday night against Arizona. But the mathematical chance still exists. The odds aren't good, but don't tell that to coaches and players. They don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it. Both teams were talking about that this morning.
If you're saying there's a chance, then there's a chance.
They're saying there's a chance.
Everberg wants McLeod, and Dillon gets across quickly. And now the Sharks just looking to close this out here in front of a sellout crowd tonight, 17,562. And they've been rewarded with a bevy of goals after really for 2 periods it looked like there wouldn't be many at all. For San Jose fans, upcoming games on Comcast Sportsnet California. We mentioned Friday, the Sharks at home 6:30 Pacific on CSN California. Then the next night at Arizona to complete the back-to-back home and away at 5:30 Pacific. Next Monday, the Sharks in their final regular season home game, 7 Pacific against Dallas. And the Colorado Avalanche, after falling to the Edmonton Oilers on Monday, are going to drop their second in a row and will have to roll the dice in Southern California with back-to-back games coming up against Anaheim and Los Angeles. And they will almost certainly now have to win all the games remaining in their season to have any kind of a chance.
And then it doesn't get much easier. They head home for their last 3 games of the year. They host Nashville, Winnipeg, and Chicago.
All teams currently in the playoffs. Cleach, a shot. Couture, back ahead for Marleau. Patrick Marleau for Tomas Hertl. Everberg will flick it back through center ice. Couture dumps it to Marleau, and Reto Berra with a great save to deny Marleau a second goal.
No, it's that combination of Couture to Marleau that really stung this Colorado team. Sharks were leading 2-1. Colorado trying to get the momentum after scoring a power play goal. Couture set up Marleau just as he does here. This time Barron with a great save. Looked like it's just under his right arm.
A quick shot by Wingels off the face-off. And Nieto now for Chris Tierney. Dillon. Pushing there for Colorado. Tierney turns, fires. He has a goal tonight. Nieto with an assist on that Tierney goal. And those remaining here at SAP Center up on their feet as the San Jose Sharks with a decisive victory here tonight over Colorado.
Well, the Sharks did what they set out to do. They think they have to run the table, and they get that home win after a tough 7-game road trip to start the march here to in the last 2 weeks of the regular season with a big 5-1 win over the Avalanche.
Final score here at SAP Center. The San Jose Sharks 5 and the Colorado Avalanche 1. That's it from here in San Jose. Coming up next, NHL Overtime with Liam, JR, and Keith after the break.